Hi. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. Welcome to this rendition of Work It Out Wednesday. I am Nurse C, a blessed RN, and I help nursing students and healthcare professional students conquer their fears of dosage calculations. Good evening. I will be starting school soon. Awesome. What program are you in? And hey to everybody else who's here right now. Let's double tap that screen to let everybody else know that we are indeed studying tonight. Let that algorithm pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, and throw it out there. Do 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 do. Bow. Okay. RN. Awesome. Cool. I know you're excited. Hey, Jazzy. Good evening. So, for those who don't know, hey, I'm Nursey, a blessed RN. This is Work It Out Wednesday. We will do a couple of dosage calculation questions tonight. I have a few of them planned, but then kind of towards the end, I'm just going to take requests. The replays will be available on my YouTube channel. It's the same name as here, A Blessed RN. Go there, subscribe for the notifications. If you're not on TikTok, it'll be on the YouTube. We're on YouTube Live. Hey, YouTube. So once we get done studying, and then we just go into like general nursing questions, and part won't be on there. But you can go and reference questions because I tend to get excited and then I go fast. So it was like slow down. I'm like, you can go back and slow it down on the replay. Hey, Nurse Kevin, Nurse Kevin, Nurse Kevin. He be out here doing the Lord's work just like I do. He is an awesome resource for NCLEX style questions and helping you get through it, get to it. I appreciate your service. He's a veteran. He was in the service, like folks be trying to say, in the service. So yeah, some of these questions I did have on Sunday because I didn't have a lot of people on, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna recycle. But I do have some IV insulin questions. That somebody had requested, and tube feeding dilution. So yeah, if you think that you have a couple of questions that you want to have incorporated into tonight's live, just throw them in the chat as we go along, and I'll see what I can see that I have in my stash. Yep. How's everybody's week been? I know it's Wednesday. I know y'all are just trying to get through it. March seemed like it came and went. I swear. Like it's almost April. But that means it's closer to May. That's graduation time. Y'all are going to graduate and become elite employees. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yay. So y'all could come and help me and Nurse Kevin out because it's a shortage out here. What kind of specialties y'all looking to go into when you graduate? Well, I'm getting my stuff pulled up. I'm stalling now. Stalling. I am a med surg nurse. I work on the orthopedic floor. So everybody who is hands on your knees, elbows, shoulders, clavicles, femurs, tibias, fibulas, all of that. That's my jam. Hey, Jasmine, what's going on? What is up? How are you tonight? It's so cool seeing people come back in, and I'm like, hey, I know you. And I remember you. Do you remember me? I'm not going to get started. Because once I start, I'm not going to be able to stop. All right. So, do we need any metric conversions tonight, y'all? Or are we warmed up enough? Y'all let me know. Metric conversions, yes or no? Yay or nay? I'm good. Ready to do this dosage. What you looking for, Jasmine? I don't know. Were you here Sunday? This is a repeat, so hey, don't jump on me. All right. So calculate the daily. Can't see nothing yet. I guess it'll help if I connected it. Yes, for dose. I mean for metrics. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see then. All right. No, I went to sleep on Sunday. Man, we all need rest. We all need rest. Like the dew in the morning. Gently rest. Rest, Jesus. All right. So metric to household. This is not really household. This is apothecary. That's what they call it, right? Apothecary. So a grain. So we know that there is 1/4 grain, and we want to know how many milligrams this equals, right? So dimensional analysis by show of hands is okay. That's cool. We good. So when I do dimensional analysis, I like to write my conversions or what I'm using to the side. I call them puzzle pieces. I call them relationships. Whatever you want to put it in your head as to remember how we're going to do it, that's what you refer to it as, okay? So we know that there are 60 milligrams in 1 grain, okay? So if we're looking for milligrams, I like to start with what it is that I am looking for. So if we have milligrams that we need, we'll do 60 milligrams equals 1 grain. Then we have 1/4 grain, so we'll do 1/4 grain, okay? So that's going to be your 60, because 60 times 1 is 60 divided by the 4. And that is going to be what, 15 milligrams? Sounds good. I know a lot of people see fractions and they're like, well, how do I do that? You just, like it's written, you keep it the same way. So just like if it was 3/4 grain. So if this were 3/4 grain equals milligrams, you would do it the same way. You start with your conversion, which is your 60 milligram is 1 grain. And then if it was 3/4 grain, that's how you keep it. And so you would do that 180 divided by 4, right? And so boom, 45 milligrams. So don't let the fractions confuse you and get you tripped up, okay? Alrighty. So insulin. Regular insulin, 100 units in 100 mLs of normal saline to infuse at 7 units per hour. At what rate, which is milliliter per hour, should the nurse set the IV infusion device to? All right, so just like when I was talking about fractions, don't let those confuse you. Don't let the units of measure get you throw off either, because I know we're used to working with milligrams and milliliters and all that stuff. A unit is just a different unit of measure, okay? So you set it up the same way. So what is our goal? Our goal is to find milliliter on the top and hours on the bottom, okay? So what do we have? It says 100 units in 100 milliliters. So that's a puzzle piece, right? That's a relationship. 100 units over 100 milliliters. And then it's to infuse at 7 units an hour. Okay? So we are looking for milliliters on the top and hours on the bottom, right? So we'll start with this one. So we can flip it. 100 mLs and there's 100 units on the bottom. Units are on the bottom, so that means we need units on the top to cross it out, right? To get rid of it. So we'll do this one now. So 7 units per hour. Units have crossed out. And so now we have milliliter on the top and hour on the bottom. It's that simple. Don't try to multiply or divide by 60 or think that you have to do anything more to this problem, because we have what the goal is. Milliliter on the top and hour on the bottom, okay? I know a lot of people are like, well, that was too easy. Yeah. That's all there's to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't go any further. So let's do 100 times 7 divided by 100. Well, it's going to be 7 because the hundreds cross out, right? So 7 mLs per hour. Okay? Easy enough. Yes, ma'am. And human insulin, regular human insulin, is the only insulin that you can give IV. That's your little pharmacology tidbit, okay? Mix 50 units of regular human insulin in 500 milliliters of normal saline. Initiate the IV insulin infusion at zero point 0.2 units per kilogram per hour. The client weighs 75 kilograms. What rate should the RN set on the infusion pump? Okay, so let's see. And thank you, Kevin, for the roses. If you're still here, my guy, I appreciate that. All right, so we are looking for, okay, it says infusion pump. Remember when I was saying that you can give an IV infusion two ways, either by pump or via gravity? So this one says pump. So when you say pump, that's your clue. That is the red flag to say milliliter per hour, okay? So if you have a gravity set with the tubing drop factor, the drip factor, then you know that you're going to be looking for drops per minute, all right? So this one is looking for milliliter per hour, okay? So what do we have? We have 50 units mixed in 500 milliliters, and then we've got our order to run at 0.2 units per kilogram per hour, and then our patient weighs 75 kilograms. Okay, so we're looking for milliliters. We're going to start with our milliliters. So that's this. So that's 500 mLs over 50 units. Okay, units are at the bottom. We need units at the top. So 0.2 units per kilogram per hour. Units have crossed out. Okay, so now we've got kilograms and hours at the bottom. So we'll put our 75 kgs at the top, and we'll put it over 1 because it's by itself, and we are left with milliliters on the top and hours on the bottom. So we'll do 500 times 0.2 times 75 divided by 50. And so that's going to be 150 milliliters per hour. Does anybody have any questions about this question, about this problem? Any questions about this question? Any questions about what we just did and why we did it and how we did it? How comfortable are y'all with dimensional analysis? I know me, nope, I just got the same answer. Okay, good, cool. Cool. I love it. I love to see it. Never mind. Okay. What I was about to say. So you see how you set the same kind of problems up. You forgot a zero. Okay, cool. Them doggone zeros, they'll make or break you. I'm telling you, it's wild. Let's see here. So there is 450 milliliters left in the bag. Infusing at 125 milliliters per hour. How long would it take to complete the infusion? Okay, so we are looking for our answer in hours and minutes. So our goal is to find hours. So we are looking to find our hourly goal, and we have 125 milliliters per hour and 450 milliliters in the bag. So we're looking for hour. We start with hour. So hour over 125 mLs, and then we have 450 milliliters over 1. Milliliters crossed out, you're left with hours. So 450 divided by 125 is going to be 3.6 hours. Okay. Hey, Michaelin, how are you, baby? So this part is your hour part. This part is the minute part. So everything after the decimal is the minute. So in order to find the minutes, we're going to take 0.6 and multiply it by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour. So 0.6 times 60 is 36. So this is going to be 3 hours and 36 minutes. Now, what if this question asks us to find what time will the infusion be completed? So, like it said, it was started at. Give me a time. Somebody just give me a random time. Just give me a random time. Give me a time. Somebody, anybody, just give me a time. 2:30. All right. So if it was started at 2:30, right? So started at 2:30. What time would it be complete? So if you did your minutes on this side and your hours on this side, and you added 3 hours and 36 minutes. Look at that, right? So on this side, we know that that's going to be a whole nother hour added to it. So I break it down in like to pieces. So this first part, I would add my 30 minutes to it. So that's going to be what? 1,500. So what I have left is that 3 hours and 6 minutes. So then it'd be 1806. You see how you can kind of break that apart? Somebody said 7 o'clock. So if it was at 7 o'clock and you need it to be done in 3 hours and 36 minutes, and you would do your minutes on this side and then 22:33. So 22:36. So that would be that end time. Okay. So you can just break them apart if you have like the days that kind of like overlap too. Like if they started like midnight or like close to like, close to midnight, that's going to be like a whole nother day. I just break it into parts and then add them together like that, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. Okay, let us do some pediatric maintenance or daily fluid maintenance, okay? So we know that I wish my teacher taught us this. I did it so differently. Are you talking about how to add your time or how to find the hours part of it? How to add the time. Okay. Well, okay, so was this way easier or the way that you learned easier? Like, did it make sense how I did it? Okay, cool. Look, I don't be trying to mess nobody up. I just be trying to get you through it the best way that I know how. The best way. Okay. That I know how. So listen up. The fluid maintenance part, it has 3 different formulas to it depending on the weight of the patient. So if the patient is 10 kilograms or less, that's going to be 100 milliliters per kilogram. If they are 11 to 20 kilograms, it's going to be 1,000 milliliters plus 50 milliliters per kilogram. That is over the 10 kilogram mark. And then the 20 kilograms or more is going to be 1,500 plus 20 milliliters per kilogram. That is over the 20 kilograms. So this right here, you would do your 25 kilograms because that's how much the patient weighs, and subtract your 20 from it. So it'd be 5.6. So that's what we're going to use for this part right here. Okay. So we'll do 20 milliliters per kilogram times 25.6 kilograms over 1 kilograms crossed out. And so we'll do 20 times 25.6, and that'll be 512 milliliters, okay? So now you have to add that to your 1,500 milliliter mark. And so 1,500 is going to be 2010 per 24 hours. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. Any questions? No? What kind of requests do y'all have for tonight? What do you want to see? Because some of these are just recycled from the previous time. But if y'all want to see something different, let me know. A client who weighs 186 pounds is receiving an safe dose range. I knew you were going to say it. I knew it was coming. Is receiving an IV infusion of drug X at 55 milliliters an hour. The IV solution is labeled with the concentration of drug X, 8.5 milligrams per milliliter. How many micrograms per kilogram per minute is the client receiving? So microgram per kilogram per minute is our goal. And then we have our patient's weight, so PPP, patient prescription product. And we have 55 milliliters an hour, and the concentration is 8.5 mg's per ml, right? Okay, so we're looking for micrograms. There's no micrograms. We can still put micrograms because we're looking for it. You start with what you're looking for. So we'll do micrograms on the top, milligrams on the bottom. 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. Now that we have milligrams on the bottom, we can put our milligrams at the top. 8.5 milligrams per milliliter. That was this puzzle piece, okay? Milligrams cross out. Now we have milliliters at the bottom. We'll do 55 milliliters per hour. Milliliters crosses out. And then we have hours at the bottom. We need minutes. So we'll do 1 hour is 60 minutes. And then what else do we need? Kilograms. So we do 2.2 pounds is 1 kilogram. And then we can use our weight to cross out the rest, and then that's 186 pounds to cross out your pounds, and we'll put that one on top, and that's it. Hey, Nia or Naya, you can ask the question. You can go ahead and put it in the comments. All right, so we'll do 1,000 times 8.5 times 55 times 2.2 times 1. I ran out. All right, so divided by 60 divided by 186. So that is going to be 92.15. And this says to round to the nearest tenth, okay? So if we rounded this to the nearest tenth, what is our answer? Yep. Micrograms per kilogram per minute. All right. Let me see. All those are drop factors. And IV completion times. Okay, so let me pull up some safe dose. A healthcare provider prescribes 1,200 milliliters of 0.45 saline solution to be infused at 125 milliliters. Okay. Is there more coming to it? I'll wait. The drop factor is 12 drops per milliliter. Okay. I was like, I knew it's probably something else coming. All right. So you've got 1,200 milliliters, and it's got to be infused at 125 milliliters per hour. Your drop factor is 12 drops per minute, okay? And so it's want to know how many drops per minute is your flow rate. So drops per minute, right? All right, so we need drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. So we'll start with our drops. 12 drops per milliliter. Sorry, that's not minute. Your drop factor is always going to be drops per milliliter. Don't want anybody confused, all right? You got milliliters at the bottom. You need milliliters at the top, all right? So then you'll use this because remember, this part is going to be fluff. This is just how much total that needs to be infused. We want to know how much over how long. So we need 125 milliliters per hour. So that's the one that you use, okay? 125 mLs per hour. Milliliter crosses out. Now we've got hour at the bottom, but we need minutes. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. Hours crosses out. So then we'll do 12 times 125 divided by 60. And that's going to be 25 drops per minute. Do you understand why we did not use the 1,200 milliliters? Because it was fluff. I knew it. I said, I bet she used that 1,200. Exactly. It don't fit anywhere. Remember, it's volume over time. Volume, how much to give over time. And it literally gave it to you that said how much to give over how long. So that's what you use. Okay. All right. So I did have this one on here that I wanted to do. Yeah, that half normal saline, because we didn't need to know that. Yeah, don't use that 0.45. It is just talking about the concentration of the solution, which was half normal saline. All right, so Ensure 3/4 strength Q6 hours. On hand is Ensure 200. You're welcome. 240 mLs per can. Using the entire can of Ensure, what is the total amount of fluid in milliliters that is Ensure, and how much is water? All right, so basically, what this is asking us to do is to create a mixture of Ensure and water. So what do? When we want to weaken something, you add water to it. But it's telling us that we need to use the entire can of Ensure. So we're going to use all the Ensure that's there, but we need to add water to it, right? So we have to set up some ratios to answer this one, okay? So we'll do 3/4, okay? And then we know that we have a whole, we have a whole can of Ensure, but we don't know what is the total amount because you've got to add water to that. So 3/4 of it has got to be Ensure. So we need to see what is the whole amount, because then once we figure out the whole amount, we could subtract the amount of Ensure, and that is going to be our water amount. So we need to find X. That's got to be the complete number. All right, so we'll do cross multiplication, and we'll get 3x equals 240 times 4, which is 960, okay? So then we will isolate X. So what we do to one side, you have to do to the other side, okay? So this crosses out, so X is going to be 320, okay? So this is the total amount of the tube feeding, okay? That's the 3/4 strength total amount. So if you take 320 and subtract your 240 from it, because that is going to be the Ensure, okay? So 320 subtracted 240. That's going to be 80 milliliters of water. So that is going to be your milliliters of Ensure. is 240, and then your milliliters of water is going to be 80. Does everybody kind of understand what we did here and why we did it? I can draw a picture. It won't be a good picture, but it'll be something visual, just in case you're a visual learner. Y'all do me a favor, double tap on this thing. Double tap, double tap, double tap. Do a little tap dance. Hey, okay. All right. I appreciate it. Let's see. So here's another one. The physician has ordered 2/3 strength insulin. Using the entire can of 240 mLs, how many milliliters of water will you add? What will the total of the volume be? Okay, so this is just like the other one. We need to use the entire can. Okay, and it needs to be, but we want it to be 2/3 strength. So we'll do 2/3. And we know that we need this, but we don't know the total because we got to add water to it, okay? So then we'll do the same thing. You cross multiply. So 2x equals whatever 240 times 3 is, which is 720, okay? Isolate x by dividing on both sides. That crosses out, and that's going to be 360. So that is the total amount of feeding, okay? It's 360. So you take your 360, which is your total, subtract your 240, which is your insure, and that's going to be 120 milliliters of water that you have to add. Does this make sense? I think I just did that one. Yeah, I did that one too. And all right, make a 2/3 strength feeding of Similac formula to equal to the total amount of 120. Yeah, you like these? I like these too. I think they're pretty cool. If you understand like what it is that you're supposed to be doing, then it kind of like, okay, all right. So let's see. You need a total amount of so a total amount of 120, okay? And we need to make a 2/3 strength. So we got 2/3, okay? We know the total amount is going to be 120. So we need to know how much is going to be tube feeding. Or not tube feeding, Similac, all right? So you do cross multiplication, 3x, and then 240. So then you isolate x again by dividing by 3. So that's going to be 80 milliliters. So then 120 minus 80. And this is going to be your Similac. All right. And then that's your total amount. So how much is going to be water? 40 mLs of water. Makes sense. Makes dollars. Makes sense. All right. I think I did this one before. All right. Drug M, 5.5 milligrams, IV push once. The child weighs 18 pounds, 6 ounces. The recommended safe dose range for drug M is 1.1 to 2.2 milligrams per kilograms per dose, basically every 4 hours. Available is drug M, 25 milligrams per milliliter. How many milliliters will you give? And is this ordered dose safe? All right. So safe dose, the infamous safe dose. So safe dose is what we'll use to figure out what is safe enough to give the patient, and then we'll go back with the order and compare the notes. Okay. So what we need to do first is address this. But look at here, we got this right here, 18 pounds and 6 ounces. So that means that we can't convert 18 pounds and 6 ounces to kilograms, right? So we need to change that. So we'll do our 6 ounces divided by your 16. Well, you know what? Let me stop trying to do the shortcut way. I'm going to show it. I got ahead of myself. I apologize. All right, so we know that 1 pound equals 16 ounces, okay? So if we are looking for pounds, we'll do 1 pound is 16 ounces, and then we have 6 ounces. Your ounces cross out, so we'll do 6 divided by 16. 6 divided by 16 is 0.375. So we'll add this to your 18, all right? So our new weight is 18.375 pounds. So let's do this. 1.1 milligram per kilogram. And so look at this. This is every 4 hours, right? I don't like to put the numbers in there. That just means that it's supposed to be given 4 hours, which is going to be 6 doses in a day. So this is 1 dose. All right. So boom. That is for 1 dose, okay? But your doses have to be given every 6 hours. You can figure that at the end. When you start adding the numbers in at the bottom and you don't put like the other numbers to cross it out, then you can get it wrong. So every time it says like 24 hours or every this and that, is per dose or per day, okay? All right, so then we'll do 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Boom, boom. 18.37 pounds, 37.5 pounds. You know what I mean. That's what we found out. All right. So we'll do 1.1 times 18.375. There we go. Divided by 2.2 is 9.18 milligrams per dose. Right. And then 2.2 milligrams per kg per dose times 1 kg, 2.2 pounds, then 18.375 pounds. All right, and everything has crossed out. So we'll do 2.2 times 18.375 divided by 2.2, basically 18.375. All right. So, or 18.38, or however your institution tells you to round, okay? So, that is our dosage amount, all right? So, our dose is 5.5 milligrams. This is the safe zone, okay? Is this a safe dose? You can go ahead with your other question. You can put it in the comments. Okay. Nope, it's not. It's not safe. It's not enough. Because 5.5 milligrams is less than the lowest amount, which is your 9.18 milligrams. Okay. A child weighing 75 pounds is to receive clindamycin 150 milligrams every 6 hours. The pediatric dose is 8 to 20 milligrams per kilogram per day, in 4 divided doses. And it comes in 75 milligrams per 5 mLs, okay? If it's safe, then calculate the dose. So we'll do it the same way that we did this last problem. We don't have to adjust our weight because our weight is all in pounds, okay? So we'll take our 8 milligrams per kilogram per day. Okay, now look. This right here means it's in 4 doses, okay? This is the total amount per day. So we want to figure out if how many milligrams per dose, then we need to incorporate that into the problem. Some ask for a daily amount, some problems ask for the dose, okay? So as it says it's the prescribed dose safe. So I just want to point that out because a lot of people say, I don't know when to use day. I don't know when to use dose. Like, what is this every 8 hours part or every 6 hours part? That's the difference. Is it the day or is it the dose? Because the frequency tells you how many doses are in a day. All right. So, boom. What we doing? All right. The patient's weight is in pounds. So we'll do our conversion. And then 76 pounds over 1 kgs crossed out. And then it says in 4 divided doses. So in 1 day, there are 4 doses. Okay. So then days crosses out. And that's going to be how many milligrams you have in a dose. All right. 8 times 76 divided by 2.2 divided by 4. 69.09 milligrams per dose. And then that's the least amount. And the most that we can have is 20 milligrams per kilogram per day. 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. 76 pounds. And then 1 day, there are 4 doses. That crosses out. That crosses out. This crosses out. So now you're left with milligram per dose. So we'll do 20 times 76 divided by 2.2 divided by 4. And that's 172.72 milligrams per dose. Okay. That is our safe zone. So it says clindamycin 150 milligrams every 6 hours. So 1 dose is 150 milligrams every 6 hours. So this is the amount that's ordered. Is this going to be a safe dose? To safely administer with a prescribed the patient's primary healthcare providers. Okay, I got a no and I got 2 yeses. Anybody else want to enter their plea? In 3, a 2, a 1. It is safe. So why is this a safe dose? This is a safe dose because 69.09 is the least amount. The most they can have is 172.2. So if it's at or in between, that is the safe zone. What was ordered was 150 milligrams. Okay, so that is somewhere in between there. So it is considered safe. Okay. So since this is safe, that was random. Beethoven stuff. All right. We need to figure out how much to give to the patient. So we need 5 mLs and 75 milligrams. And then they want 150 milligrams. And your milligrams cross out. So 5 times 150 divided by 75 is 10 mLs that you would give to your patient. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so easy enough, man. Why does pediatric just us talking? Why does pediatric safe dose kind of trip you up, or like what about it is difficult for you to solve. Oh, Nia added her question. That's right. My bad. My bad. At first, I feel like I just wasn't reading and understanding what it was asking. Now I get it. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Okay, let's see what it said. Patient's primary healthcare provider prescribed 250 milliliters of D5W to be infused over 2 hours. So 250 mLs of D5W over 2 hours. Oh, and 45 minutes. Ew. So 2 hours and 45 minutes. They trying to be funny, right? 2 hours and 45 minutes. Okay. And then the drop factor is 60 drops per ml. So 60 drops per ml is your drop factor. Okay. So then we need to know to safely administer the prescribed IV, the nurse should regulate the IV pump for how many drops per minute. So we need to know drops per minute, and it wants to know how many milliliters per hour. So our problem right here is that this time, right? It's in hours and minutes. So since we have your minutes already converted, it'll be easier to do 2 hours, which is 120 minutes, because 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 2 hours is going to be 120 minutes plus your 45. So 120 plus your 45 is going to be 165 minutes. Okay. So we need drops per minute, right? So we know that 250 milliliters is going to go over 165 minutes, and your drop factor is 60 drops per milliliter. So we're looking for our drops, then we're going to start with our drops. So 60 drops over ml, okay? Milliliters at the bottom, you need milliliter at the top. So do 250 mLs over 165 minutes, and you already got drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. Hey Kima, how you doing? Lovely Kima. I'll say so 650 times, not 650, 6 times 250. I promise I put in 60 divided by 165 is going to be 90.9. So 91 drops a minute. Okay. So then she said, I've never seen in nursing school. Yeah, they're trying to trick you. Yeah, exactly. And so now you want to know how many milliliters per hour, because that's the other part, right? So if you have 250 milliliters over 165 minutes, we need hours at the bottom instead of minutes, right? So then you'll do 60 minutes on the top is in 1 hour. So your minutes will cross out. So do 250 times 60 divided by 165. And that'll be 90.9. So 91 milliliters per hour. And I don't know if I told you this before, but like if you ever have like a rate and you have your drop factor that's a micro drip, which is the 60 drops, is always going to be that rate because your 60s cancel out. Boom. So that's how you do that one. Y'all got any more? That was fun. But yeah, do you got it? Yeah. So that was the thing. Addressing that right there. That was the big thing right there. Having to convert it and then use it in your setup. You're welcome. So your assigned patient is an infant who weighs 12 pounds. He's to receive ampicillin oral suspension, 125 milligrams every 6 hours. The label indicates children weighing less than 20 pounds should receive 100 milligrams per kilogram per day in equally divided doses at 6-hour intervals. What is the maximum safe dose to be given every 6 hours? And is this ordered dose a safe dose? Okay, so this one is not a range, so we're just giving us the maximum dose amount. Okay, so we'll do 100 milligrams per kilogram per day. And remember, this is asking us for safe dose, right? Dose. So we know that there are equally divided doses. So if you do 24 divided by 6, that means that's 4 doses in a day. Okay, so we'll do our patient's weight, which is 12 pounds. So 1 kg, 2.2 pounds. And we got 12 pounds. Kgs cross out, pounds cross out. And then in one day, there are 4 doses. So everything is crossed out. And now you have milligram per dose. So 100 times 12 divided by 2.2 divided by 4. Let's see, 100 times 12 divided by 2.2 divided by 4 is 136.36 milligrams per dose. That is the maximum amount, okay? So what is ordered is 125. Is this a safe dose? It's safe, just not therapeutic. So yeah, that's how you do those. It's all right. Okay, so what next? Weight based. Weight based. Mm, 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 mm. Why did this come up? That's safe dosage range. How did that get in there? All right, a patient weighs 45 kilograms and is prescribed a medication for 3 milligrams per kilogram per dose. The stock strength is 2 milligrams per zero point 0.5 milliliters. What volume will you give to the patient? Okay, so what is our goal? Is volume. So volume is milliliter. So we need to know how many milliliters, okay? Our PPP, patient prescription product, 45 kgs is our patient's weight. Our prescription is 3 milligram per kg per dose. And then our medicine is 2 milligrams per 0.5 ml. Okay. So we are looking for milliliters. So I'm going to start with what I'm looking for. 0.5 milliliters over 2 milligrams. We got milligrams at the bottom. We need milligrams at the top, so it'll cross out, okay? So we'll do 3 milligrams per kg per dose. Milligrams crosses out. All right. 45 kgs, so that our kgs will cross out. And what are we left with? How many milliliters per dose to give to the patient? So we'll do 0.5 times 3 times 45 divided by 2. And that'll be 33.75. So if this asks us to round to the nearest tenths, what would our answer be? Nearest 10th place. That's the nearest whole number. Which should be almost 34. It's like, why don't you just give 34? I was just trying to check on our rounding skills. That's all. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Y'all want to do some heparin problems? 15 milligrams per kilogram per day by mouth in 2 divided doses. Child weighs 33 pounds. Available is 125 milligrams per 5 mLs. How many milliliters will be administered per day and how many milliliters per dose? So this is going to show the difference between per day and per dose, okay? So if you're asked to find per day, milliliter per day, we need mLs at the top and day at the bottom. So PPP. Patient's weight is 33 pounds, 15 milligrams per kilogram per day is our prescription. And then we know that in one day there are 2 doses because that's what it told us. And then our available prescription medication is 125 milligrams per 5 mLs. Okay, so we're looking for milliliters on the top and days on the bottom. All right, so we'll use, oh, we'll use that 5 milliliter over 125 milligrams. Okay, so then we have milligrams at the bottom. We need milligrams at the top. 15 milligrams per kg per day. Milligrams crosses out. All right. Our patient's weight is in pounds, so we'll do 1 kg over 2.2 pounds. Kgs crosses out. So now we have pounds at the bottom and 33 pounds over 1. And then we're left with milliliter per day. Okay. So 5 times 15 times 33. Hit divide. 125 divide 2.2 equals 9 mLs per day. And then if we want to know our second question, milliliters per dose, the way you would set that one up is the same way. Because you want milliliters, you start with your 5 mLs, 125 milligram, 15 milligram per kg per day. 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Slash that out. Patient's weight is 33 pounds over 1. That's gone. And then in one day, there are 4 doses. So days crosses out and you have milliliter on the top and doses on the bottom. And so basically, no, not 4 doses. I'm sorry. It's 2 doses. Boop. 2 doses. So we'll do 5 times 15 times 33 divided by 125 divided by 2.2 divided by 2. And that's going to be 4.5 milliliters per dose. Any requests? Any more requests? No? Well, I've enjoyed our time together this evening. As you see, I was busy working today and I'm tired. So, if there aren't any more requests tonight, I thank you for being here with me. I thank you for sharing live. Thank you for supporting the live. I will be No, I won't be here Sunday. That is going to be Resurrection Sunday. Nobody needs to study. Y'all need to just think of the goodness of God. and study for the week that's coming up. If there's anybody who needs private tutoring, ABRN tutoring, that is the site that you can go to, and that is the email that you can hit up if you are studying and come across a question or have any other inquiries. Y'all, I pray that y'all have